I'm making this video to attempt to correct a major academic disconnect. Eugenics is a fake science that was believed widely and taught as fact throughout much of the world for decades. Today, it's no longer taken seriously. Eugenics attempted to assign inherent superiority to groups of people based on their genetic ancestry or race, using evolutionary or Darwinian principles. Eugenics was a primary justification for the Holocaust and countless other genocides, as this particular fake science supported the pseudological belief that humans could improve the human race by speeding up evolution, by sterilizing, killing, or otherwise removing less evolved races from the gene pool. The academic disconnect I am targeting is the disconnect between evolution and eugenics, or the belief that evolution and eugenics are somehow not intimately related, codependent, and mutually inclusive. If you believe biological evolution is responsible for much of the biodiversity on Earth today, you must understand that the same scientific principles you accept require eugenics to be correct. It could be said that you also believe, wittingly or not, in eugenics, as evolution and eugenics rest on exactly the same foundational scientific principles. Since those pseudo-scientific principles are either true or false, it is not negotiable or debatable that evolution and eugenics are either both true or both false. Period. Eugenics is nothing more than evolution taking a close look at the human species. If evolution is true, then evolutionary principles are correct, and therefore there must be a master race within the human race. Darwinian pseudoscientific principles require this. The only thing that would be left to debate is which race within the human race is the master race. Charles Darwin has been said to have written the book Evolution of the Species. This is not entirely correct. The full name of Darwin's book is On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. Notice the word races and phrase preservation of favored races in the title of Darwin's book. It's not a huge leap for an evolution believer, consciously or otherwise, to assign inherent genetic inferiority to races to which he does not belong. In fact, evolutionary principles require inherent racial inequality. It is my belief that racism continues to hang on in no small part because evolution, despite the overwhelming empirical case against it, continues to hang on. And many evolution believers subconsciously or otherwise assign superior or inferior fitness levels, as in survival of the fittest, to different ethnic groups within the human species. Maybe the inherent racial bias certain groups claim we all have is something we pick up from school biology textbooks. Anyway, everything said in this video is easily verifiable. Prove it out for yourself. Please don't believe me. And for the record, I don't believe in mainstream Darwinian macroevolution. I believe microevolution alone is responsible for maybe 5% of the biodiversity on Earth. That's it. The credit for the remaining 95% belongs to our Creator. Also, slightly different topic. Every single mutation is reversible. That means that if, and this is a big if, evolution is true, the selective pressures on a given species could reverse. And if a mutation occurs in that species which undoes the most recent evolutionary mutation, that species could evolve by one gene backwards, one genetic step backwards. If that process were to continue and the selective pressures reverse, survival of the fittest could cause individuals in a given species, like ours, to evolve backwards. In theory, to evolve as far back as our common ancestor with goldfish or oak trees. Then they could evolve forward on the evolutionary timeline from that point. Forward towards goldfish or oak trees or wherever the evolutionary mechanisms direct. That means that if you believe in evolution, you must believe, whether you admit it or not, you must accept the fact that your belief system requires it to be true that given enough time and circumstances, your direct descendants could actually be goldfish or a forest of oak trees. Evolution is wrong, and so is eugenics. We need to stop falling for it.